tracking. When it's come to the marker-based tracking or marker-based augmented reality, so we need to remember or bear in mind that with the word marker-based, also of course it will involve the marker. It will need the image target. It will need a marker so that it can be a point or the something that can be pop up on that markers. Okay, so basically for marker based AR is an application that use a camera. Okay, we use the camera to detect, and then we also need to use a visual markers, okay, to display the various object and determine the center, the orientation, and also the range of its spherical coordinate system. Okay, and when it's involved markers, of course, basically a developer or the user will use the QR code. Okay, the QR code has been found as a common use in the AR as markers because due to the fact that they are well suited for use where mobile devices are concerned. Okay, because we use the mobile device as a device to actually scan that AR markers, so they basically use this QR code, okay, to represent as the pattern inside this AR markers. And the application will include interactive 3D model and animation. Okay, so this one is a virtual object. Okay, whether this virtual object is will be in the form of 3D models or also some that will involve animation. Okay, if you look into this figure, there is a piece of paper. Okay, a piece of paper. So basically on top on this paper there is a visual markers. Okay, visual markers. When we scan these visual markers, so there is a car model popping up on top of these visual markers. Okay, so this is how the marker based AR look like. Okay, it have a marker down here, marker. We scan the marker and then it pop up a 3D model on top of this. Okay, and this is the example of the augmented reality with markers. Okay, and this is from the IKEA. Okay, IKEA application, where if you look into this figure, this is the smartphone. Okay, when they actually open up this application, and then it scan the real world here. Okay, the human here is the real world, and the virtual object that is popping up from this real world is that this table. Okay, this table, and the markers here is maybe of this mat. Okay, this circle mat down here. Okay, maybe it is act as a markers here. Okay, so when the user scan this, it will pop up this 3D object of this table. Okay, so basically it is quite natural where the user cannot detect where is the markers actually. Okay, so basically they scan this and then it's pop up this 3D object. Okay, beside marker based, okay, we also have the other type of augmented reality, which is we call this as a markerless tracking. Okay, markerless. Before this is a marker based, so it have a marker. Okay, but this one with the name itself is markerless, so it means without marker. Okay, no marker. So what happened inside this markerless tracking is that the concept of markerless is that it will use the active tracking and recognition of a real environment. Okay, we use the real environment as a target on any type of support without using spatial place markers. Okay, so no markers involved. For example, here is the example of the recognition of the Lego box here. Okay, so basically this is the Lego box. Okay, it don't have any markers, but basically is scan and then is actually detect based on this real environment, which is this Lego box here is a real environment, so it's detect this real environment and then it pop up the 3D animation on top of this Lego box. Okay, so no markers, but instead they use the real environment. This is markerless. Okay, this is markerless. Alright, so let's understand more on this markerless tracking. Okay, so why we need this markerless tracking? Okay, the purpose or the intention of having this markerless tracking is to actually to present the AR in a particularly dynamic environment. Okay, such as while on the move, outside, and so on. And it is infeasible that markers will be positioned on the majority of the surrounding object. Okay, since this markerless is actually used specifically for the dynamic environment. Okay, dynamic environment means here is that the environment that can be changed, that can be moved, okay, something that can be moved, something that can outside. So it is not practical to use the markers. Okay, it is not infeasible. Infeasible here is mean it's not practical to use the markers because it's not suitable to be positioned and using the surrounding object. That's why we need to use markerless tracking instead. Okay, and since the majority of InVision use case where markers are unavailable, an image recognition system is required. Yes, okay, since the markers is not suitable to be used, so we need to use the image recognition in the dynamic environment instead. Okay, and since that the markerless is not using the markers but is using the real world entity, the component or the things that are in our real world. For example, human, vehicle, building, tree, and so on. Okay, anything that are in our real world. So is actually present and also involve a greater complexity of the system compared to the 2D simple markers. So this image recognition software will require high processing power, okay, because it's involve the real human, real vehicles, and buildings, and so on. So of course, it will need to require a high processing power. Okay, and this markerless tracking will involve two types of markerless tracking, which is the passive and also active. Okay, so what are the differences between this passive markerless and active markerless? Okay, for the passive, based on the name itself, so it means that the user simply view AR through a display only. Okay, the user just view that AR with no interaction or no interactivity at all. Okay, you just need to see that AR technology or AR system only, no interaction at all. But while for active markerless tracking is mean the user is tracked by a camera. Okay, the user is tracked by camera, and the analysis will involve. Okay, it will analyze the movement and so on, and then it will translate this data. Okay, the analyzed data here into the image display. Okay, that's why it's fall under this active category. Beside marker-based and also markerless AR, okay, we also have the location-based tracking. Okay, location-based. So based on the name itself, location. Okay, so it means that the tracking will be based on the geolocation information obtained from the device location sensor. Okay, so this one will be based on the geolocation information. And what are the information that we need from this location sensor? Okay, we will need to longitude, latitude, altitude, compass bearing, accelerator reading for pitch and roll. So here are the information that we need to get from the location sensor, okay, so that we can activate this location-based tracking. Okay, and basically this term is used to make a distinction between systems that rely on location sensor alone in contrast to the system that can track object using optical image recognition technique. Okay, so what make this distinction? Because this location based is the type of tracking that use geolocation. Okay, it's use geolocation, use GPS and so on. And this location-based tracking is generally less accurate than optical method and only work in outdoor environment. Okay, yes. Based on this statement, it means that this location-based tracking is less accurate because it solely rely on the geolocation information. If your geolocation information provide an accurate data, so this means that your location-based tracking also is inaccurate. Okay, so it's involve outdoor environment. Here is some of the example in the outdoor. You go to your outdoor and then you can see this virtual information pop up on the building and so on here, okay, in the surrounding using this geolocation information from your device. Here is the tracking technologies that we have, where it can be categorized into three main tracking technologies, okay, which is the active, okay, the active tracking technologies, the passive, and also the hybrid tracking. Okay, so for active, okay, to be define this to be active tracking technologies where it's involve certain technologies like mechanical, magnetic, ultrasonic, and it's involve a GPS, Wi-Fi, and cell location. Okay, when it's involved all of these tracking technologies is fall under active category. Okay, active category. And then is passive when is involve inertial sensors, okay, inertial sensors like compass, accelerometer, gyro, and also something like computer vision. Okay, computer vision can be marker based or natural feature tracking, and is also fall under hybrid tracking. Okay, based on the name here, hybrid is mean the combination. Okay, the combination trackings mean the combined sensor. For example, we combine the vision with the inertial tracking. Okay, so there are three types of tracking technologies here: active, passive, and hybrid. And here are the tracking type. Okay, the tracking type that we have, actually we have several type of tracker. We have magnetic tracker, inertial tracker, ultrasonic tracker, optical tracker, and mechanical tracker, okay, as a main. But optical tracker also can be divided into three type, which is under optical tracker we have special light tracking, marker based tracking, and markerless tracking. Okay, and then under markerless tracking we have edge based tracking, template based tracking, and interest point tracking. Okay, so here are the organization, okay, or the order of this tracking type. Okay, this is the example of the marker tracking. Okay, basically this marker tracking has been available for more than 10 years already. Okay, these have been available and also can be used since 10 years ago. Okay, and then there are several open source solution exist that can be used. For example, a few libraries provided, which is AR Toolkit, AR Tag, ATK Plus, and etc. And it's very simple to implement. Okay, by using a marker tracking is very easy and also simple to implement because it's only use the standard computer vision method. And when it's involve marker tracking, so basically it's involve the four corners point. Okay, the four corners point with a rectangle type of markers here. For example, here the four corners of these markers. Okay, a rectangle provide four corners point, so it's enough for post estimation. Okay, with only the rectangles markers already enough for the to calculate for the post and so on already. This is how the marker-based tracking using AR Toolkit is work. Okay, how is AR Toolkit is work? So basically, here are the few process or procedure happen inside this AR Toolkit that use the concept of marker-based. Okay, so the first is that the video stream from the camera. Okay, so it's gonna scan using the camera, and then in this process, what happen is that we will search for the markers. Okay, you will search for the markers, and then when it's found the markers, it will find the marker 3D position and orientation. Okay, we find the marker and then the 3D position and orientation, and then it will identify the markers. Okay, identify the markers here is mean it will actually detect the symbol inside the marker so that is matched with the template in this memory. Okay, and then it will position and orient the object. Okay, this mean here is gonna position or coordinate or place the 3D object, okay, the 3D virtual object, to align them with the markers coordinate, and then it will render that 3D object in video frame. So basically in this step the virtual object are rendered in the video frame, and then the next one it will send this video stream to the user, okay, through HMD, which is head mounted display, so that at the end we can see this virtual object on top of these markers. Okay, if we don't want to use the marker base, we also can use the natural feature tracking. Okay, natural feature tracking here is use the natural cue from the real environment or the real element that basically come from the edge of the object, the surface texture, or the interest point of that real environment. Okay, example here is it have the feature point on this, it have the contour from here, and then it have the surface from here that can be used as a tracking, and then it can pop up this virtual object inside this real environment or real element. Okay, and by using this natural feature tracking, there is no pollution, no visual pollution happen. Okay, visual pollution here is mean that the aesthetic issue that refer to the impact of pollution that can actually impair the ability to enjoy the pleasant view. Okay, Okay, we also have the texture tracking, okay, which is it can be used the texture from the actually for this example is the using the book, okay, here the comics book, the texture from this comic book to become a tracker, okay, tracking to actually pop up this 3D environment. Beside that, we also have the edge-based tracking, okay, edge-based tracking, which is actually based on the edge of the object, okay, the edge of the object. If you look into this example, is actually detect the edge of this object, okay, here the edge of this object, and then presenting the virtual object based on the analyzation, okay, initialization, control point, and post prediction using the global method. Beside that, we also have the line-based tracking, okay, basically this line-based tracking or line tracker can be used and also can be used robustly and also accurately to track a line in an image, okay, if you can see inside this figure is track a line in an image, okay, and then we detect this and then we display this virtual object. Look into this the advantages and disadvantages of these markers versus natural feature tracking, okay, so now we're going to compare the marker based versus the tracking of the natural features, okay. For marker tracking, okay, let's look into the first one first, marker tracking, okay. The advantage of the marker tracking is that the markers can be eye catcher, okay, since we use the visual markers, so we actually can that markers, the visual markers can be an eye catcher for us, so that it easily can be seen by us because it have the visual display. And then another advantage of marker tracking is that the tracking is less demanding, okay, because is actually detect based on the marker that we have set, so it's less demanding because we don't use any surrounding environment and so on. And the disadvantage of marker tracking is that the environment must be instrumented with markers. So this means that the environment that we plan to use as a virtual object must be instrument or must be aligned well with the markers. And then another disadvantages of marker tracking is that the markers is usually work only when fully in view. Okay, so we need to make sure that the markers is in fully view only so that it can actually working, okay. And for natural features tracking, okay, the disadvantages of natural feature tracking is that the database of the key point must be stored or downloaded first, okay, so that is working we need to have the database of that key point first, okay, must be stored and also download first. And then another advantages and the advantages for natural feature tracking is that the natural feature target might catch the attention less, okay, so we don't have to split the attention because it don't have any markers, it's use the actually the features, the natural features that available in our real world, okay. And then another advantages is that the natural features target are potentially everywhere because it's used natural environment, so it's actually is everywhere, okay, you can find it everywhere. And then the natural features target also work also if only in partially view, okay, so it's mean that if not in fully in view also is also can be working, okay. So here are the some of the advantages and disadvantages of marker tracking and natural feature tracking. In what situation or when is the right time to use the marker based tracking, okay, so here are the some recommendation, okay, when to use this marker based tracking, okay. So every time when the tracking in environment that are challenging for the features tracking, so we are suggested to use the marker based tracking instead, okay. And when we want to acquire or to get the correct scale and the convenient coordinate frames, okay, so we need to use the marker based tracking. Beside that, when it's come to the environments with a lot of moving object and occlusion in the scene or in the real environment, we also need to use the marker based tracking. And when we need to have for extra information, when we want to use the hybrid method, environment with existing markers, device with limited computational capacity and memory, So it's suggested to use a marker-based tracking as well because it doesn't consume much data. And then interaction with the user. Okay, it's also suggested to use marker-based tracking as well. And then indication of the existence of virtual data. Okay, so here are all of the situation, okay, when it's suitable to use the marker-based tracking. Okay, now let's look into our last section of this marker, which is on the multi-marker. Okay, based on this word itself from here, multi-marker is mean that more than one marker. So how this multi-marker concept is look like. So let's look into the description. For multi-marker system, okay, is basically refer to the system where it can combine the information from all the markers that we use. Okay, when we can combine all of those information together from all the markers, so we actually can have the system that are more robust and also more accurate. Okay, because it's combine all those information together. And for example, okay, a multi-marker system can handle the partial occlusions problems and also can deduce the location of a marker even this is invisible. Okay, and as long as they can detect some other markers belonging to the marker field as well. Okay, so here are one of the benefit or advantages of these multi-markers. So here are some of the advantages when we apply the multi-markers in our system. Okay, so basically multi-markers have a useful features that can provide a significant advantages when we developing our augmented reality. Okay, the first main advantages is in terms of the stability. Okay, stability, which is when we use multi-markers, which will be more stable because the AR or the 3D object or the virtual object is less shaky and has a higher quality. Okay, it's less shaky and also have a higher quality because it have more than one markers to support that. Okay, it's not solely rely on one marker only. Besides stability, it also have the advantages in terms of the robustness. Okay, it will be more robust because the 3D display in the AR will not disappear. Okay, it will still remain there. Okay, remain visible even if you move far away from the multi markers. Okay, because it have multi marker used in the system. So the 3D object will not disappear just like that. Okay, it will be remain visible. Here is the example of the multi-marker system. Okay, augmented reality game. Okay, this one is a game for tower defense for Symbian smartphone. If you can see in this figure, there are a few markers have been applied in this system. Okay, this is the first marker, second marker, and then third marker and fourth marker. So this is the example of how the multi-marker is working. Okay, there are more markers or there are more than one markers used in one system. Beside the static multi-marker system, we also have the kind of technology that we call as a dynamic multi-marker system. Okay, so what is dynamic multi-marker system concept is that the marker field may be dynamic. Okay, dynamic here means that it's not static, it can be moved. Okay, the user can move, can remove or add the markers during the application use. Okay, whenever we run the system, we actually can remove one of the markers, but it still can run that application. Okay, an example of this kind of dynamic multi-marker system is the application where the static marker field can be defined as a table surface, and the user can use that dynamic markers to pick the object, to move the object, or to drop the object. Okay, and dynamic markers also can be used to define the interaction action or interaction techniques. Okay, for example, as a proximity action, deformation, and etc.